Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Broke Gamers podcast.
Hi.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Ricky.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm alright.
Cool.
I'm okay.
I'm actually better this time. I got a cold somehow, some way.
Yeah, Ricky almost didn't make it to the show.
I was like, dude, I am not skipping this. This is gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
And it's
You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today. And
So-
I was just like, oh, at least I don't get Steve sick, or at least Steve's gonna go solo. I don't know what the hell is gonna happen.
It probably would have just been no show.
Hey, I did a solo show one time, David.
Yeah, I don't do solo show. I mean, my regular radio show is a solo show, but it's
Yeah.
more music-based anyway.
Yeah, you have music to back you up. But first things first, we do get a shout, Hyrule, our dude,
Our former editor.
yeah, he was our guy that did the video on it. He did an excellent job uploading to YouTube and such.
He's just too busy to help us anymore.
Yeah, he's got a real life job where I was just like, dude, like I don't really want this to interfere with like this job that you just got, which is like major.
It's a big thing for him.
Definitely
so,
is.
Congratulations to you, Harold. But
definitely congratulations
you're
to
a
that
dick. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, bro. You know that.
man. Yeah, man. Much love.
We appreciate everything you did for us.
Yeah, he'll definitely still help out from time to time, but it's not going to be as frequent. So it's just a you and I type of thing now.
The Two Broke Gamers, guys.
Yep. And, but we definitely got to shout out him and Victor. I mean, they're not cut out from our lives. Of course, they're still our friends,
Yeah.
But, Harold's got to, do his thing.
Yeah.
Especially waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day. Holy crap. I remember doing that back in the days, and I was like, oh, killer, man.
Waking up at 8 o'clock is hard enough for me. Screw 3.
All right, so, we're going to start the show off with a follow-up to the Robin Williams saga. Well, not much of a saga, but, some...
There was a whole bunch of, I guess, video gamers wanted him immortalized in different games.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears to be happening.
Yeah, World of Warcraft is already announced that they have a non-playable character called Robin the Entertainer. He looks kind of like a genie in some way, not like the Aladdin genie, but you can tell with the blue, it's kind of a shout out at least.
Yeah,
to the...
it's definitely a reference to Genie from Aladdin.
Yeah. So it's other forms have been spotted as well with the because there's a female one, of course, maybe a nod to Mrs. Doubtfire, and a human male, which some people think it's Mork. They this is the tribute. They don't know how it's gonna what they'll offer to any quest or anything. So they just kind of announced it like, look, this is what we got. It's coming. We don't know. I guess they haven't talked about a release date or anything, but it's there. And it's good for that. At least Blizzard was really on the ball with this. Like they got this pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. He was an avid. I'm pretty sure he played World of Warcraft. So
yeah, he was a big fan of World of Warcraft.
He was a big fan. I was about to say he was an avid fan of World of Warcraft. So why not immortalize him in one of the games that he played?
Exactly. And also Nintendo responded as well.
Right, because the fans, he was also, on top of World of Warcraft, he was a huge Zelda fan as well.
I mean, he named his child.
He named his daughter Zelda.
Yeah. So, they responded in the nicest way possible. Because Nintendo doesn't want to sound like they're capitalizing, and some people kind of felt some type of way. It's like, look, Nintendo's not trying to capitalize on this fame or whatnot. So this was a statement that they released in response to the because there was a petition, just like in World of Warcraft, there's a petition for Nintendo to do the same thing for Robin Williams. Nintendo acknowledged it. They said, "We appreciate the outpouring of support from the gaming community, and we hear the request of fans to honor him in a future game. We will not be discussing what might be possible for future games during this difficult time, but we will hold our memories of Robin close." So see, Nintendo's kind of took the classy way. Like they didn't want to be like, hey, get the next game, Robin's in it. No, it's like they're kind of like, look, we know and we're gonna do it, but we're not gonna really advertise it because we don't want to take advantage of the situation. Just let everybody mourn.
I could see Nintendo doing like an Easter egg thing about it.
Yeah, or
like they're not gonna make it like a character. There might be like a reference or something.
Yeah, I kind of hope it's like Beetle, and he have like some Robin Williams sound effects, like how Beetle's like, oh, like at least something like that. That'd be
Tingle?
awesome. No, Beetle, the shop guy from like Wind Waker and
okay.
Sword. Yeah, the guy who's on the bike is like, oh, like you just talk to him and he just makes random sounds. Like I would kind of like that. That's kind of cool, using some sound effects from like Robin Williams because he's got plenty.
Yeah,
Definitely
that'd be strange guy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that'd be kind of awesome in the new Zelda game. Be the shop guy.
Yeah,
I kind of roll with that. But I mean, whatever Nintendo wants to do, let them do it. We don't want to, also glamorize it either. But it's nice to let speculate. It's also nice to, have the memory of Robin Williams in this time. So we'll smoothly go on to this one topic before we separate into companies. There was a list from the International Game Developer Association that quizzed developers on which company they would most likely want to work for, or at least they want to work for the most. And apparently,
most desired company to work for.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the number one company is Valve,
which I've heard that Valve is a great company to work for.
I've heard a lot about that too. Like it's like that, and I actually love second, which is my own company. Like I want to make my own. I like to do that.
Yeah, but that's tough.
That is
your own game developing company.
Yeah, you got to make a really good game, or at least a bunch of little kind of micro games or something like that. I don't know.
Number 3 is the humongous thing that is Blizzard.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard is another one to work with. Number 4 would be BioWare.
Number 5 is actually Ubisoft.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I haven't heard anything bad, so...
Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft is kind of with their customers. Like, not the greatest, not the worst, but people still do appreciate them. But, as far as...
You have to think of it from an employee standpoint.
Yeah, and I think from an employee standpoint, I haven't heard really anything, negative about it. So, number 6...
Oh, they just want to stay with their current employer.
They probably were being safe. Like, what if they track me? You know what? I like where I'm working right now.
Yeah. Number 7.
Number 7, yeah, the greatest one is Nintendo.
Which I would like to work for Nintendo. I think they'd be pretty cool.
I think a lot of people want to work for Nintendo in all honesty, but I know they're just mostly a Japanese based company. A lot of their studios are in Japan, and then there's the second parties that are kind of like in Europe, and that's really it. Like I don't think there's any real like thing except for like the Treehouse in North America. But even then, they're like kind of like testers, and they kind of like do some other things. But they're not. There's no real like presence in America to make a game, So I don't know. I mean, maybe like with the new demand of Nintendo, because they're obviously not going to have a lot of third party support, and we'll get into that later in this show.
Yeah.
They got to start thinking about doing something else, because right now, I mean, with the few second party companies that they got to get a lot more than that.
Yeah. Number 8 was actually Naughty Dog.
Which they're coming up. I mean, they had their couple of hits with Last of Us, and the Uncharted series. To name a few of those at the top of my head. They seem to be pretty cool to work for. Number 9 would be Double Fine,
which I'd never heard of.
Really?
What do they make?
Big games.
Well, like what? Like
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure I just never paid attention. Maybe as soon as you start naming things, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Double Fine has made big games. I just don't remember off the top of my head, but I do know they're like out there. I hear the name a lot, so it's funny enough that you mentioned it. It's like,
but you can't think of anything.
Yeah, not right off the top of my head right now.
And then
they've made let's see, Psychonauts. No, that was a demo. Yeah, they did Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, and Broken Age. That's some of their big products. So, yeah, I mean, hey, if it's a great company to work for,
All right. And then number 10 was Bethesda Gaming, which is known for its Elder Scroll series.
Yeah, of course.
So,
hey, I mean, and they're pretty successful in their own right.
There are some companies on here I expected to see that I didn't see.
Not EA.
No, the EA is not on here.
No, I think EA is bad with their employees and their customers.
Well, I wasn't expecting. I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say Rareware.
I don't even know if they're a company.
Rare? Pretty sure Rare is a company.
Well, funny enough,
Rockstar's not on here.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually surprised about Rockstar. I can't lie to you about that.
And one that I personally would like to work for, but I'm not a game developer, would be Game Freak.
Yeah, dude, like that's, I don't know. That might be too exclusive to like where they're located, and that's it. I don't know.
Probably, but still, like, it'd be so cool to work on Pokemon games.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Especially with the new products that they have out there for Pokemon that we're going to talk about soon.
Yeah.
And also we're going to talk about Rare. Funny enough that you mentioned Rare, because Microsoft kind of wants to change its image of like, it's more than just Kinect Sports, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would have liked to have. I guess you can get rid of those two options of my own company and the current employer.
You can even talk about Sora if you wanted to. If you want to talk about, Sakurai's company, he makes Smash Bros. Wouldn't everybody want to work for that?
Yeah. There's another one I had in my head.
Sony?
No, not Sony. What is it? Final Fantasy.
Oh, Square Enix.
Square Enix. Yes, that was it. Square Enix.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I like to say
Chrono
about
Trigger, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, Activision is Blizzard, duh. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but go on.
Riot Games.
Yeah. But we're going to the consoles, and we'll break it down for some of the other stuff. But we'll go into Sony first. Now, I read this, and I'm just like, really? Like, Sony sold about this point 10 million consoles. Like, not even, they didn't ship that. No. People, 10 million people at least, or maybe more at this point, own a PlayStation 4 at this point.
And my question is the same exact one Sony has asked.
They don't know who's
Who
buying
the
it.
hell is buying our console?
Yeah, they don't know who's buying it.
Yeah, they have no idea. And it's because, like, a lot of people are saying that there's a lack of original content on the PlayStation 4, which is why people are questioning why it's being bought.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games that are being remade or basically scaled or upscaled or remade, like, you know, Last of Us and whatnot, and like NBA 2K and such like that are being remade on these consoles, and there's very few original games on this console, and people are buying it.
Yeah. So I'm actually reading the article right now. There's a quote in here I find pretty funny. They're just like, it's just beyond our imagination. We are so happy, but I, for one, am a bit nervous because we do not completely understand what's happening. And they're just like, okay. It's like, you need to understand why your products are selling, well, so you can plan for the future, right? It defied the conventional thinking. Lots of people thought the dedicated game hardware might not be needed for going forward, but still lots of people are very excited. So just like, they're just like, yeah, even we don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and the best part about that is the other part of that quote where he said that they kind of need to know because they kind of have to advertise correctly, because they don't advertise, they're not going to be able to sell more games, which would give them more money. So if they don't know who's buying the consoles and what games they actually like, then what the hell,
Right, so it's that puts them in a hard spot, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So now, and meanwhile, during Gamescom, which happened this past weekend, that they interviewed Sony computer president of Europe, Jim Ryan, and he discussed the PlayStation 4, and he said that the company would not be complacent. He said in some ways, all that feeding frenzy last year was interesting and probably great for the press, you know, in quotation, but I think and hope that it's run its course now, and we're getting to doing our thing. We haven't really changed course at all. We've got plans, and we're confident about them. Some of what got laid out last night and other stuff that will follow its due course. We'll just have to get on with it. So basically, I mean, he's talking about just the same old things that happen in the tidal wave, and everybody's like, oh, new console. Now that that's over, it's like, okay, now we're going to get the real stuff. So that's my interpretation with that, which is kind of I guess they kind of need to at this point, especially if you got the actual CEO of Sony talking about yeah, we kind of don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
at
we
this
don't know
point.
what's going on.
Yeah,
but definitely, it's, you gotta, you know, you made the hardware, people are buying it, so now come up with the software for it, and then you've got a perfect match.
Mm-hmm. Now it's funny because the Sony Computer Entertainment of Japan's president, Hiroshi Kawando, actually retired after because he joined Sony in 1985. He sold the operations in various capacities. He was general manager of Sony Europe and senior vice president of consumer sales. He's been through a lot, so it's probably, I don't know if he's just like leaving just to leave, but he did leave at a weird time because you know, the Tokyo Game Show is happening. So where, you know, they're gonna show off like some other products, and for him to leave at that point, it's kind of like, well, maybe you could have waited a little bit, but I don't know. It's just strange. But as of September 1st, though, Atsushi Morita is going to succeed him. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing, because he just probably retired to just retire. Like, all right, I'm done. Goodbye. I did 30 years or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, if he felt it was time to retire, then it's time to retire. You can't make him stay any longer than he wants to or has to.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, I don't know how the culture is in Japan, but I guess once you're done, that's it.
Maybe.
Now, funny, one of the last things with Sony that we're going to talk about is the PlayStation 4's floors. The PlayStation floor. You can play on the floor. PlayStation 4's share play, which it has a button on the PlayStation 4 for share. Now, you can share a game basically with someone, like online or whatnot. Since they don't have the game, you can kind of share it. You can basically play with somebody online with a game that they don't have, just to try it out and just play online or play competitively, whatever you want to do, with share play. But it has a time limit of 60 minutes, which I guess that's fair. I don't know.
I guess it's 60 minutes per game, or 60 minutes per session. Like,
it's 60-minute sessions.
Oh, 60-minute sessions. Okay, so it's like you will play. So if you and I were to do it, you would share a game with me. We play for an hour, and then our session would be up. Yeah, and you just share the game again. We could play again.
I guess so. I guess
it's a little tedious, but it's not the worst thing. They can make it 60 minutes per game, and then you'd be like, "Fuck," like you get pissed, but. This is not the worst thing.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I guess they're trying to prevent like people getting a freebie. I guess you can say like, oh.
Well, I mean, it's if you just keep sharing the same game over and over, it's kind of like a freebie.
Yeah, unless they make it like per day, which would kind of like be like, all right, dude, just buy the freaking game, like.
That's why I said maybe it's 60 minutes per game, but I guess not.
Yeah, but it's 60-minute sessions according to the company. That's like their quote. Like that's it.
All right, well. I guess that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. If they don't, like you can have it, especially if you don't have a copy of the game. So it's the first of its kind feature. You're playing as if you're in the same room. So I don't know.
Is it though?
I don't know. I think so.
I remember the Nintendo DS. You were able to.
Oh yeah,
share
that's right. The download
games,
play. Yeah,
the download play.
That's right.
Because I remember I'd never had a Mario Kart game for the DS, and I was always playing it with my cousins because they shared it with me.
Well, here's the thing. That's actually like over a network, over online. So you could be in your house, I could be in my house, and we're playing the same game. You don't own it, but I do. That's what the kind of feature is.
Where's that? Because I always played it like next to them.
Well, yeah, that's why the 3D, a DS or a 3DS has to be near each other in order for you to play the same game.
Oh, okay.
That's what.
Wait a minute. Well, it's the. For, in quotes, the first of its kind for the feature, but it's really, I mean, I guess it's the first online set mode of it, but
like
it's
you're
been
not
done
near
before.
each other. Yeah, but you have to be close to each other. Like you and I could play like a download play right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, it doesn't really, okay, cool. I don't want to leave it, cool.
So now going on to Microsoft stuff. Now, we did kind of tease that a little bit earlier. And we did talk about Microsoft talking about Rare, and they're talking about they got some great ideas because really they're known, especially now with the fact that the Kinect is not really going to be a part of the Xbox One's thing. They're talking about working with Rare and working on a new project and thinking about what it wants to do in the future. So to quote Phil Spencer, who's the head of Xbox right now, he said, "I think about them thinking about the next game that's going to be the next Rare game and really stand out for what they are. I know that they got some great ideas. So they got some new ideas. They're excited about them, and I think Rare can, and will be an important part of our gaming future."
No, that's cool, I guess. I mean, Rare made some pretty cool games.
Yeah, but they made pretty cool games on the SNES and the N64. But as far as when they got bought out by Microsoft, they made like Banjo-Kazooie, like Nuts and Bolts, and then they had
that game sucked.
And then the Pinata game, and now Kinect Sports.
You're right. I mean, they kind of have gone pretty.
Oh
maybe,
yeah, and
maybe that's why no one wants to work for Rare. They only make Kinect games.
Yeah. Oh, and also Perfect Dark Zero. I forgot that they made a sequel for Perfect Dark. I forgot about that.
It was horrible.
Yeah, and then you wonder.
Yeah, go back to making like Donkey Kong 64.
Well, they can't. I mean, that's Nintendo, and now they have Retro Studios working on that. And Retro Studios has done a good job with the Donkey Kong Country Returns series so far.
I like Donkey Kong 64.
I know I never played Donkey Kong 64. I've always wanted to, but I love the SNES, like the trilogy. I absolutely love that.
No, wait, Donkey Kong Country was great.
Yeah.
The 1, 2, and level 3 was okay, but it's
2 was the best.
2 was thank you. Someone believes me. Someone agrees with me. 2 was the best.
That 2 was like I actually bought that on Virtual Console, even though I have the cartridge and it still works on the SNES.
Yeah, I have 2 working cartridges of 2 and 2 working cartridges of 1, but I'm just a loser like that. But anyway, I'm just saying, Donkey Kong Country 2 is my favorite.
Yeah,
You got so sidetracked, but 2 is my favorite.
Yeah, 2 is like one of the best ones. It just had a perfect mix of the two main characters, and just the stages that were in it were just amazing. Like I don't know, the puzzle solving in that and just getting all the bonuses. It was just a great game all around.
You know what it was for me? My favorite animal in the first, it was always Squawk.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Squawk had like 2 levels, and he never did anything.
That was it.
And
yeah.
he was just like, he was a light holder in the first game.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the second game, you had like multiple levels where you're like flying with Squawk.
And then he shot
shoot the coconuts and
yeah.
stuff. I was like, where's he getting these coconut things from? These are so cool. Like Squawk was always my favorite. You know,
Yeah.
I like Guard too. I like the thing too. I like the seal. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah. But he all he did was cool your water.
It didn't matter. He was just so like, you jumped on him. He was like, "Durr," he like clapped and
Yeah.
stuff. He was so happy. Oh, he got so sidetracked.
Yeah. Well, to end the discussion, I mean, it's funny that it was quoted as saying, "I don't want Rare brand to mean Kinect Sports." So hopefully Rare's gonna turn it around, and if not, hopefully Nintendo will buy them again, and maybe they'll make great games
Go back
again.
to making good games.
Yeah. Because they really made a lot of great games for Nintendo, and then once Microsoft bought them, it was like, what the hell happened?
The first Perfect Dark was so good.
Yeah, I'd see a lot of people didn't like Perfect Dark. And
I
loved it.
I liked the first Perfect Dark. That's why I was actually excited for Perfect Dark Zero, and then that game was a heaping pile of trash. So, all right, cool.
But I really
didn't know
liked
you guys were game critics too.
Hey, we could be impromptu review. Boom.
What up, son?
Well, I did because you know what? I really like Perfect. I was interested in Perfect Dark because they said it was like a spiritual like sequel to GoldenEye, which
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, dude, like I need to get this game. And then I bought it. I was like, it's really interesting. I like the concept of it. I mean, I love playing the alien. Like I don't know why. Like I played the alien in this one stage. It's like towards the end if you unlock everything. And I don't know. I just used to love killing everything and everybody around because I was like, I'm the alien. I don't give a shit. Like whatever. But that game was pretty good all around. In all honesty.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who agree with us that it was good, and the second one was awful.
Yeah, I had never played the second one, but I did hear that it's just bad.
Indeed, it was.
Going on to Nintendo stuff, because now we're company to company, and we're probably going to be on Nintendo a lot because we're probably fanboys.
We are. Let's be real. Let's stop pretending we're not. We are Nintendo peoples.
Yeah. Now we'll start for Hyrule Warriors, which is streaming a lot on Twitch. Way before like the American or English release.
Well, because it's down in Japan already.
Yeah.
Which I mean, we're gonna talk about it. But people are gonna smash stream in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah,
And
Stream Smash.
Stream smash in 3 weeks. You're right. I twisted up my words.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna come out here for another 2 months.
Yeah. But,
It's so depressing.
But you know what? There's already a plan, and I'll tell you about that. Which they have the Smash 3DS. They already have a schedule. We'll talk about that eventually. But Hyrule Warriors. Apparently
Yes,
in
that's
Japan,
Hyrule Warriors.
in Japan it had a better debut than the Wind Waker.
Really?
Yeah. Sales numbers from Famitsu, which is one of like the highest and most accredited magazines in Japan. They said that Hyrule Warriors had a much better debut as Zelda. They said the Hyrule Warriors sold 78,773 units in its opening week. And meanwhile,
Wow.
Wind Waker only shifted 31,154 units when it was first released in September of 2013.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And funny enough, another Hyrule Warriors thing, the eShop in Japan apparently says there's new content planned to be distributed. It's translated from Japan. It just says rumor. Additional characters, weapons, and scenario are planned to be distributed. And that's on the eShop page in Japan. So I don't know if that's going to be DLC
Yeah,
or more.
DLC, because I'm pretty sure the game's out.
Yeah, it's out. But even more DLC than what was already announced. So that's kind of cool. I
Yeah.
don't know. Keep it alive for a longer period. Cause I don't
And
know.
there's apparently a hero, like a playable character that's DLC too.
Yeah, additional weapon scenario and are planned to be distributed. Yeah, just a scenario.
Oh.
So, yeah.
My bad. Cut it.
Additional characters, too, but who knows.
Yeah, that's characters, man. Additional characters.
Yeah, that's true, too. If they got more characters coming out, maybe the female Linkle will probably...
Linkle, oh
Linkle
boy.
will probably come in.
I knew I wasn't listening. I knew I didn't hear things. I knew I heard it right.
Yeah, you're
Additional
right.
characters, DLC characters. You know why I think that worked out so well for that game? Because people like Dynasty Warriors and people like Zelda. So when you make a hybrid of the two, yeah, it's gonna work out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I'm on board with this game.
So now
As soon as I get a Wii U, I'm gonna get this game.
Oh yeah. Now let's talk about the games that are not gonna be on the Wii U.
Oh boy, how many of this?
Oh, there's gonna be a few. Let's go through them all. Apparently, Ubisoft is saying that, you know what? No one buys Assassin's Creed on Nintendo consoles. Let's just whatever, man.
Because they're right.
Yeah,
Because they're right. No one. Assassin's Creed is more of a Microsoft kind of game,
or even like
and PlayStation,
Sony,
yeah, Sony.
and PC.
But it's definitely not a Wii U game. I've never seen anyone be like, "Oh, I gotta get the Wii U to play that Assassin's Creed, man."
Yeah,
Like,
you don't.
no.
You don't ever hear that sentence
I've
ever.
never heard that in my life.
What we see is that Nintendo customers don't buy Assassin's Creed. Last year we sold very small numbers. So that's coming from Guillemont.
From Ubisoft.
From Ubisoft. Yves Guillemont. He talked to Game Informer about this at Gamescom. And that Game Informer actually added that the Wii U games accounted for 3% of sales. Down a percent point from 2013. Wii sales, meanwhile, accounted for 11% of software sales over the same period. Let me see. And meanwhile, Ubisoft really supported the Wii U. Like, they were just like, yeah, we're all for it. Rayman exclusive. And then it was like, oh, wait, you know what? That Rayman game, we're going to delay it, but then release it on the other consoles because it's not a Wii U exclusive anymore.
Damn.
So, yeah, I remember that. And now they have a game that they're not going to release until, they release more games and such like that. But you know what? I saw something from this one of these journalists that I follow. She's also a blogger. Her name's Emily Rogers. I got to shout her out. She doesn't know me, but whatever. But I followed her, and she made a great point of saying that it's messed up to think about it this way, but all those mature rated games like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, they're all aimed at children. And not only are they aimed at children, there's merchandise for children. Like, someone had even quoted that I walked into a Toys R Us and I saw like a Call of Duty backpack. This is a rated M game.
This is very true, actually. I've never thought about this before.
Yeah, and I had to bring it up because it's just like it's a twisted thing that there's M-rated games, but here's merchandise for children. and it's not only just...
Yeah, no, you're right. I've seen, now that I think about it, I've seen like little kids like Halloween costumes of like Ezio and Altator and stuff from Assassin's Creed. Like, this is weird. It's an M-rated game that you're making kids dress up as a killing machine.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, and it's strange because I thought about it in some strange way, and I thought about maybe it being a second subject, but to think about it, like Nintendo's basically for older people at this point. Like maybe people like grew up with Mario, and I don't know if there are a lot of kids that are growing up with Mario or if they're growing up with the games like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, and then when it comes to the point where they get older, is Nintendo going to be obsolete at that point?
Well, I think it also depends on the parenting.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt is very non-violence, and so my little 5-year-old cousin loves Mario.
Mm-hmm.
He has a DS and he brings Mario everywhere he goes. So in that sense, yes, but I also know some parents who really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And their kid is playing Call of Duty at 8 years old. So yeah, it's circumstantial, I guess.
Yeah, I gotcha. I hear you on that one. Now, going on to Call of Duty, because, the new Call of Duty is also not coming into the Wii U. Advanced Warfare? Nah. The last two, but it's funny because the last two Call of Duty games came out for the Wii U. So for this one to not come out, it's kind of like, oh.
Well, it must be similar to the Ubisoft situation where it's like less than 5% of sales because, again, no one says, hey, man, I got to get the Wii U so I can play Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
I've never heard that sentence in my life. Everyone I know
exactly.
plays it on Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah,
so.
and PC.
Yeah.
And that's the
PC
thing
is very big too.
Yeah.
Master Race, man. But even then, I just know people who use it for Xbox and PlayStation more.
Yeah, this is a Sledgehammer Games responded to this question on Twitter. They said no Wii U. That was an Activision decision. An Activision's decision. Say that 5 times fast.
An Activision decision.
Yeah. We are focused on the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So yeah. And meanwhile, they're working on that's the Sledgehammer. They're working on those versions of the games, but High Moon Studios is working on the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions. So But then again, going back to what we talked about last week. I mean, when are we gonna have the cutoff? When are we gonna have the non-split?
I think that game should be the cutoff.
That's it. Like that's your last Call of Duty on the PS3 and Xbox 360. Now you're just gonna have to deal with
No,
it.
I think Advanced Warfare should be exclusive to the Xbox and the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Xbox One, PlayStation 4, excuse me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're coming out for the 360 and PS3. It's like, yo, cut it off. We have a new console. If you want to sell new units, with the new graphics and everything.
Because that, I feel like that is the game where you should make the cutoff, because that's where people are going to be like, oh man, I really have to get this game. I'm going to, it's the same as every other game, but I have to have it, so I'm going to buy the new console.
Yeah, and that would sell it, especially Call of Duty. Hello. Like, Call of Duty is like the biggest seller every freaking year.
Exactly. It's a main title, even though it's the same game.
Funny, it's not coming out for the Wii, too. The Wii had a bunch of Call of Duty games that nobody cared about, apparently.
Like I said, it has to be selling so poorly compared to the other consoles that it's not even worth making.
That's our opinion on that. Like, it's probably, who knows if it's fact or not, but it's that has to be that's the obvious conclusion that we can come up with, in all honesty, because there's no, why not? In all honesty, you had the other Call of Duties on Wii U. Unless it's just like it's not worth it at this point, then it's just like whatever, Just say it though.
No, that's what Ubisoft said.
Well, they said they're not going to do it.
No, Ubisoft said Ubisoft said Assassin's Creed accounted for 3%. The Wii U games, I should say, for Wii U, they accounted for 3%. So 97% went towards the Xbox, Xbox and PlayStations
and PC.
And PC.
And that's the thing. And it's just like, whoever didn't pirate it. But that's the thing. It's just like, okay, forget the Wii U. At least they said it. That's the thing. At least they just said, like, you know what? We just know. And it's going to be, and Ubisoft already said that's going to be the last game that's going to be like mature rated. They'll probably release a bunch of Rayman games on the Wii U, but, whatever.
More Raving Rabbids. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Those games are fun.
Now, here's another game that's not going to be coming out for the Wii U. Street Fighter.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. They said, Capcom said that that Street Fighter is going to come out eventually to the Xbox One and PS4, but not for Wii U. This is coming from the Capcom producer, Yoshinori Ono. He tweeted that out. He basically said, because he was responding to somebody, and he responded and said, because someone asked him, what about the Wii U? And he said, I apologize, we don't have a plan for Wii U.
Damn, Wii U's getting booted.
Yeah, well, nobody's playing tournaments on the Wii U. Like, nobody's grabbing their joysticks,
is true.
And plugging it into the Wii U. Like, all right, we're going to have a tournament. We're going to have Street Fighter 4
all right, guys, don't forget your nunchucks.
Well, no, and you know what, though? If the Wii U is as powerful as, as the... as the PS3 or the Xbox 360, whatever. They should be able to power the, Marvel 3 and Street Fighter 4. And if that's the case, if Nintendo was smart and wanted to really push, Smash Bros. 4, why not have Street Fighter 4 and the next 4? Like, look, Microsoft sponsored it last year, or this past year. Sony had it last year where everything was played on Sony consoles. This year was Xbox 360s. Why not on the Wii U?
Well, I guess not.
Yeah.
I guess it's not happening.
Yeah. Now, we can talk about Nintendo's stock rising because of Pokemon. Now, Now, Pokemon had the Pokemon Company had just released that. First of all, they just released that they're a very successful franchise.
Of course they are.
So the Pokemon video game franchise has sold more than 260 million games worldwide.
I believe it.
The Pokemon trading card game has shipped more than 21.5 billion cards to 74 countries in 10 languages. Wow. There are more than 800 episodes in the Pokemon anime.
That I knew.
And that's in their 17th season. That's like, wait.
And Ash is still only 10.
Yeah.
He should be like 37.
Dude, look at The Simpsons and look at South Park. Like, they're still like 8, 10. Everybody's the same age.
If it went like actual years, Ash would be 27 years old right now.
Yeah, basically.
But he's still 10.
Exactly.
I just did like a snap and gunshot move for anyone who's wondering.
There are 17 full-length Pokemon feature films. And, of course, Pokemon X and Y has, to this point, sold nearly 12 million copies globally in the first 4 months.
That's it?
Yeah. 12 million in the first 4 months, actually, I should say. It's
been out for more than 4 months.
Yeah. But, they probably don't have the newer numbers.
Whatever. 12 million is way less than I thought, though.
Well, at 4 months. It's been released in October, so,
Yeah, but most games sell their bulk of copies in the first couple months.
Yeah, so that's probably what counts.
Yeah, like Red and Blue had like 30-something million copies.
Yeah, that was a lot. A lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Even Gold and Silver sold a lot.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a huge amount of 3DS install, but I don't know.
But still, I think the install and the physical copy counts as a it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Still, I thought it'd be way higher than 12 million by now, but I guess
It probably
not.
is, but who knows? They don't have probably the later numbers that they didn't release.
And don't
yet
forget,
anyway.
Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire.
They're still going to be coming out. You're
still
right.
coming out.
Now, also announced from the Pokemon Company, which I kind of teased with the stock, got risen because of this announcement that the Pokemon trading game, the card trading game, that card game.
The cool one for the Game Boy.
Yeah, that's coming out for the iPad. Bam.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I have a friend who was like obsessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I played, I'm not gonna lie, I did actually like collect them and actually played with them
Yeah.
in a few tournaments.
Mm.
And then I was like, nah. just nah. Because I remember I played 3 matches. I won 1 and I lost 2. And I was like, well, this game sucks. And I stopped playing. And I just stuck to collecting them for a little while. And then somewhere along the line, I was like, nah.
Now, the Pokemon Company's Andrew Finch praised the iPad for its brilliant touch interface. Talked about, because he serves as the director of the Pokemon trading card game. He applauds the iOS for its multi-touch functionality. It made its first appearance during the Pokemon World Championships that happened this past weekend, too, which we could also talk about. Which
apparently I didn't watch them or anything, but I heard that what was it? Amolga kind of swept everybody.
Yeah, let me get that story.
Just like, because there was all these jokes about like Amolga, the dragon killer. Like what? Amolga's so weak.
Well, here's the thing.
Or was it Pachirisu? I don't even know.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get that story for you.
I know it's one of the stupid Pikachu clone things.
Yeah, it's the squirrel. Where is it? Yeah, it was Pachirisu.
Okay, it was
Yep.
Pachirisu.
Yep.
I wasn't sure which one, but I knew that something unlikely swept everybody, and it was like, what?
Yeah, it was a guy. Well, the guy who won it all was Korean player Sejun Park. He had a team of Pachirisu, a Gothaeli, I guess, I don't know. Gothitelle, yeah. A Gardevoir, Gyarados.
Gyarados?
Yeah, that
Gyarados
one.
is one of the original 150, man.
I
Come
don't know,
on,
man. Look, I'm out the game for that one. A Talonflame and a Garchomp.
Huh.
So now, let me see. The Pachirisu role was a sacrificial one. So, and people knew this, and people were chanting the name in the final match. It was kind of I guess crazy in some way. I didn't really care about the tournament, but reading the story that this dude had bought it, and not only that, he had a Pachirisu plushie in between matches. You just wiggle it and be like, yeah, I got this. Like what? What you gonna do about that?
Yeah, but just I don't know, man. Pachirisu, screw that thing.
Yeah, and he won the tournament that way too. He won the main part because there's different classes and different age groups and everything. Which I don't know. I kind of feel some type of way about that because if you're in the same game and you're 5 and you could beat a 40-year-old, or if you're a 40-year-old you could beat a 5-year-old, let it happen.
I don't know. I like the age differences because I'm pretty sure if I were to play against my 4-year-old cousin, I would stomp him. I'm just saying,
but
I think my awareness of what's going on in the game is stronger than his.
But I don't know. But how do you know who's the real grand champion? There's a bunch of champions in different divisions, and most of them from Japan.
It's
some
like
from the United
if you
States.
want to compare it to real sports, I'm pretty sure a college, the best college team, would get stomped by the worst pro NFL team.
I guess so. Well, you
have the NFL champion, you have the college champion, and you have the high school champion, and the middle school champion. You have to keep them separated because I'm pretty sure if you put a little league team up against a pro team, how do you know which one's the best? I don't know, because the pros would step on the little guys.
I see what you're saying.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
But it's video games though.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, but you can have a teenager, like even like a not even a teenager, like a young kid in Evo playing Street Fighter against some guys, and beat some people, but still
all right.
get an
So I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure throwing a 5-year-old against a 21-year-old unemployed Smash player is not going to be the best time for that 5-year-old.
I mean, it could happen though. I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
The controller's as big as the kid's head. I don't think it's going to work out so well.
Now, here's the thing. Now, last thing about Pokemon. There's supposed to be going to be this new Pokemon project that's going to be revealed August 26th on the Nico Nico stream. And it's a stunning new project that nobody knows about. We don't know what it is. It's shocking.
What is it?
I don't know.
No one knows.
Yeah, that's it. So keep an eye out for that for sure. I don't know what the hell it's going to be.
It'll shock you.
It'll shock you like Pikachu. Ha ha ha. See, I went there.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro. Tell it again.
Now, before we go, well, now we're sticking with Nintendo. Now, funny enough, I talked about how I'm a big Mario Kart fan. I don't really follow like what goes on in like the big boards of MK boards and such like that. But something caught my interest. And I'm a sucker for global, like competition. Like I love like global sports. Like I love the World Cup, and I like the like any Olympics. Like I can watch a lot of that, and even in gaming, whether in real sports and whatnot. But and we could talk about what people consider sports too. But there was a Mario Kart World Cup that happened this weekend, and it's happening throughout the month.
That's cool.
Yeah, and what it is they got their teams together. And it's basically 12 countries playing against each other.
Huh.
So it's basically Germany, the UK, Italy, Japan, France, the Netherlands, Canada, USA, Australia, Spain, Mexico, and Nordic. Now, they're in their group stages right now. It's going to happen over a course of, I guess, a few weeks because it's 3 weeks of group stages. And then the tournament or bracket happens because there's, I believe, the top. I don't know exactly the rules because I just followed it and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I know there's going to be a wild card too from this group stage, but it's actually kind of interesting how they kind of have it broken down. Watching a stream of it was really interesting because it basically had one streamer each, two a split screen. Like one person had this, one person. Even though it was kind of disorganized but organized in a way because one stream was like a minute ahead of the other one, so basically like one person was already in a race, but then on the left like they're just starting their race, and so you already see the other person on the other stream like winning or losing, whatever the case may be to that. But then there was a point where they lost signal on one of the sides of the country, so then they kind of had to have one screen, and then the announcers are kind of like, this is happening. But I don't know. I mean, they kind of have to work on that a little bit, but I like it so far.
It's cool. USA's losing, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
I mean, it's only been one. They've only played one match each.
Yeah, and I like it.
And actually, I don't know, we lost by the least amount of points.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Out of all the teams that lost, we're the best of losers.
Yeah.
Go USA. USA.
We're the first in the wild card, funny enough, next to the UK.
Yeah. Because Canada only beat us by 29 points.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. I'm with it.
I mean, yeah, definitely. It's happening every Saturday so far. I don't know if they switch up schedules from like the group stages to the actual, brackets and such. Maybe they'll still stick it to every Saturday. It's probably more convenient for everybody at that point. Yeah, but I do like that. I forgot about it last week because I think I heard about it. I was like, whatever. And then I tuned into Twitch. I was like, I definitely have to follow this, and it's pretty cool actually. I like what I've seen so far. I don't know if it'll be more successful, but I watched one match now. It's the France and Netherlands one, and I saw the Netherlands get stomped,
absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't watch it. This is your story. I didn't watch it, but I'm looking at like the standings and stuff. They lost by 430 something points.
It was just bad. They didn't lose by that much, but like they lost at least by 100 or more. It was just bad.
No, it says like the
400 really.
The differential is like 400 points.
Really. Crap. I knew they lost by a lot, but I didn't know the final score. I'm seeing it now. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a 463. That's kind of bad.
How do you get stomped that badly?
Yeah, it was bad.
Damn,
but I liked what I liked that. I couldn't get that. I really wanted to see
463 points.
Yeah.
I lost by.
Yeah. So, and I wanted to watch the USA Canada match. I really wanted to watch that. But but I did notice during that France match that there was a lot of people watching, at least 1,000 people, like more. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty interesting that they got to that.
That's a decent amount of people.
Yeah, exactly. For something that like it was kind of like it was announced for a while, but maybe other people found it too, like I did. And I definitely would check that out. It's on I believe it's twitch.tv /MK boards. That's the one that's doing it. So definitely give that a follow and check it out. I'll probably correct it if I'm wrong on the description, but definitely give that a follow and check it out. See if you like it or not.
Coolios.
As far as other things, as far as Mario Kart is concerned, at this point, Mario Kart US sales has hit 1 million, and 40 million 3DS software sales as well. So a good kind of time for Nintendo right now.
Cool.
So yeah, Mario Kart got 1 million, and that's the second Wii U game to cross the milestone.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
The second one. Like, damn, what was the first one?
It's the new Mario Bros. U.
A new Mario
Which
Bros.
got
So Skyward Sword's still not even there yet?
The Skyward Sword, I don't even think has 1 million, in all honesty.
Because that game is the suck.
But I you know what's funny though? I've seen the sales for the one that came out on the 3DS. Link Between Worlds. That got like 1.18 or something like that sales. And
because it's different. That's the 3DS. We're talking about Wii U here.
Yeah, but there's a lot more people that have a 3DS.
I know. That's why I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but global sales for Mario Kart 8 have 2.82 million.
Cool.
So, yeah,
I'm with it.
Yeah, and as far as the software for the 3DS, it's sold about 40 million games. The highest selling one is Mario Kart 7, 3.48 million. With Mario 3D Land behind it, Pokemon X and Y right behind it too. But these numbers seem old because this has Pokemon X and Y at about 4 million combined. So I think they, like we discussed in another story, it's way more than that at this point.
Yeah, we just said it was 12. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, maybe they're giving out old numbers. Maybe number from like I don't know. That's just strange. Let me see what it says here.
Maybe everyone's not collaborating.
Yeah, we don't have specific hardware numbers in Nintendo's console, but Nintendo isn't shy about the 3DS software numbers. They updated the games and whatnot. I don't know. I feel like Nintendo added 4 to 10 best-selling software SKUs in July are exclusive to the 3DS. So now we're a little more recent, where it's like Tomodachi Life is there. And it sold over 85,000 games, which is kind of crazy. This game was like out of nowhere. That now it's just a big hit. And meanwhile, Pokemon X and Y are still like up there in numbers, but there's no figure given to that point. But I don't know, man. All right, so Smash.
Yay! Time for Smash. All right. Well,
Yay.
I just blew out your eardrums. My bad.
Yay!
Time for Smash, guys.
So Smash.
So. There was allegedly.
No, we're not going to.
We're not doing that yet.
We'll do the official stuff first.
All right, we'll do the official stuff, and then we'll go into the bullshit later. Anyway,
yeah.
I mean bullshit. Anyway,
let me pull up the stories first before anything. All right,
Super Smash. I got this one. I got this.
All right, you got this.
Super Smash Brothers is apparently GameCon's most wanted consumer game.
Which I believe.
I believe it.
I believe it. The hype is real.
The hype is real, man.
The hype has been real, yeah. I mean, other things are probably nominated. I didn't care about getting into all that, but definitely Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS won the Consumer's Choice Award this year.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It is a incredibly hyped game.
Oh, definitely. Now, other things released about the Smash Bros. Thing, because that was a quick thing that we had to mention, but someone from Japan took a picture of I guess a download card or something, but it is still an official box of the Smash Bros. 3DS from Japan, and it basically has a info that everybody already knew. But the thing that gets me the most is the fact of its size. But I did a little bit more research, and I guess that it kind of makes sense for what it is, because the size of the game is 2.1 gigs, which
That's a lot.
To me it's not a lot.
For a 3DS game?
Because here's the thing, a 3DS game could actually hold up to, like, the card itself could hold up to 4 gigs, 8 max, if that. That's why I'm just like, so what about the roster? What about everything else that's going to be happening on the Wii U? Is the Wii U going to be 4 gigs then? Is it going to be that small? Is it going to be a ripoff, like, kind of like how I cut it? Like, not so much of a ripoff, because Mario Kart 8 was almost 4 gigs, and I'm like, dude, that's the same size as a Wii disc. Like, and meanwhile, this is like the the knockoff Nintendo Blu-ray disc that's like 25 gigs, and there's a 4 gig game on there that they're now adding content to it with their new update. But this one, it seems kind of small for everything that's on there. But looking at other games and what they have, the other big game besides like Nintendo's like Donkey Kong Country Returns for the 3DS was about the same size, 2 gig, and that has a lot of gameplay and a lot of gameplay value. It's basically a Wii game that's been reduced to that size. And to think about that way, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe there's a little bit more perspective in that. And another game that's actually bigger than that, and that's 3 gigs, is Bravely Default.
Yeah.
And that one's
that's a humongous game.
Yeah. So, and meanwhile too, if they went a little bit more than that, I hear that the game kind of slows down. So once you hit like that 4 gig kind of like maybe 8 gig range, I hear the game kind of slows down. So maybe at that point, it's not only like a game that's a good size for what it is, but also it keeps up with the speed of the game itself. Because that Smash Bros can be a fast-paced game.
Yeah.
So they probably hit the right perfect size for it.
I hope so.
And maybe the DLC, if there is going to be any, could be on the flash card, which could also make it fast. You see what I'm saying?
I see. Hope so.
Now, something that happened a couple of days ago that I thought was going to spark more controversy because I don't know if people were aware of what was going on. Now, Sakurai had put a tweet of the day. He had the post of the day on the Miiverse. Now, he had basically put it out. Before you read it, you kind of see the picture. You're kind of like, oh, snap. Like, this is kind of sexy for a Nintendo game.
It's basically Zero Suit Samus in a very small top and a very small bottom.
Yeah, and here's the thing. And Sakurai I think he had to put it very specific for a reason, because he said, pick of the day. Looking at the number of days we had left for development, it would be an impossible task to create this. That's what I told my staff. But thanks to the determination of a female designer, these Zero Suit outfits got completed in time. From the ending of Metroid Zero Mission, here's Samus in shorts. So now, if you haven't played the Metroid series at all, from the first one to even the Super Nintendo one to any one of them, there's always a part where if you beat the game at a certain time, or if you know a password or whatever the case may be, at the end, you always get like this image of Samus in a bikini or in this just very skimpy outfit. Now, when I saw this, my first reaction was, oh shit, people are going to go nuts. Because if they don't know the series and they just know Smash Bros, and it's like, oh, well, why are they doing this to Samus? Why is she this sexy figure now? Like, she has the heels and now she's in a skimpy outfit. I'm like, oh crap. I thought there was going to be this huge, there
really wasn't an outcry about it.
There wasn't. And I'm happy about that. And I was like, okay, so people get it. That's good. Like, I was kind of worried that, oh man, this is too much. But it wasn't really, especially someone had proved the point too, and I think it was a woman that proved it, that why are women going to be wearing something women of course are going to be wearing something like that, because look at the athletes. They have like the sports bras, and they have the thing, like for track, they wear just about the same thing that Samus is wearing.
And then look at the other female characters in Smash. Lucina's is going to be fully clothed, as far as we know. No, but like her
somebody did call like the shower some sort of bat scene that she has the robe in. Like they want that robe. Like, yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Lucina is going to be in her full armor. Zelda wears a full dress. Peach wears a full dress. So,
Rosalina has a full dress.
So it's not like there's any skimpy characters in Nintendo like there are in like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and stuff.
And somebody pointed out too, like look at Cammy. Like Cammy's just got this one piece, and it's basically like it cuts off right at her crotch, and there's her legs.
So this is rather tame
basically
for a fighting game girl character. So let's be real. I approve of this.
Yeah.
Which actually someone made a joke later. They made a picture of Captain Falcon with like no shirt on and wearing like booty shorts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, look who else is getting a skimpy outfit. I found that hilarious.
Well, people are obsessed with the Captain Falcon crotch, so they're just like, he needs a Speedo with the bump, and it's just like, and no shirt.
He's like a naked Captain Falcon, pretty much. It was hilarious. I started laughing so hard.
People are like, if they're gonna do that the Samus, just do it to Captain Falcon. I was like, oh, all right.
No, but the caption I saw was, look who else gets a skimpy outfit.
Yeah.
It was Captain Falcon shirtless.
Yeah, that was great. I cannot lie. That was great.
That had me laughing.
Yeah. So now, let me see. But there was some released images from Famitsu, which was kind of weird timing because it came after a supposed leaks, but we'll get into that after this. But Famitsu had some good images on some characters that they paid some attention to. Like this one started off at Meta Knight.
Meta Knight.
Which they showed like the smashes and the special and then the final smash. We'll link images to that because this one also had together Pac-Man. Now the Pac-Man one was a little bit interesting because they actually broke down his moves a little bit more. If this would
because Meta Knight's a returning character and
Yeah.
Pac-Man is brand spanking new.
Yeah, and I was more interested in Pac-Man. Now the up B I think is more fascinating because he's more on an angle and he's eating his dots way like to get his way back up, which I thought was kind of interesting in that aspect to do that to Pac-Man. Like, let me show you that real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, no, they show you in the video and stuff too.
Did I? I didn't realize they did that for the video.
They
Wow.
does, and they show his final smash where he just comes
Yeah, the
as, like,
final
giant
smash, yeah.
Pac-Man across the screen.
Yeah, the final smash I remember. I just didn't remember him like eating the dots. Like I didn't like it doesn't show it on here, but I didn't actually remember him like eating the dots.
No, I do.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. The side special attack.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that at all. But yeah, Pac-Man and Meta Knight had a definite like profile of breakdown of what they do and stuff. Now, something else happened way
And
before.
it's complete bullshit, but we'll talk about it anyway.
There's some interesting leaks that happen in Smash Bros.
And we say leaks in quotes because it's pretty much been deemed like super duper fake.
Well, it could be deemed fake, but looking at some other things, it could be deemed real.
I deem it super duper fake.
Like, all right. So basically, a bunch of pictures came out. It was, I believe, on like 4chan and I believe on Twitter, and like there was a bunch of different sources. Basically, they showed new characters, showing Nessa's in the game. The new characters being Duck Hunt, which I thought was just a weird name for a character in itself.
Yeah, but like, you know, you were like, why not dog and duck? But I was like, remember, ice climbers are ice climbers and not Nana and Popo.
Yeah, because I mean, they basically it's Duck Hunt. You know, the Duck Hunt game. You have the dog who laughs
It's
at you if you
stupid.
miss one, or
It's
like,
dumb.
or he catches your ducks when you shoot them. And basically, the character's the dog and the duck.
But then when you think about it, there's no possible, like, no one can think of any possible move set for these two.
I try to break it down. Like, what the hell could it be? Someone brought up Banjo-Kazooie. Like, that could be the Banjo-Kazooie. But what does it do? Like, what, a bird just flies around?
There's no move set for this.
The dog, like, fights? Like, I don't get this. Like, what does he hide in the background and laughs at you? Like, I don't get what the move set is.
Taunting? Who's just gonna... No. There's no move set for this. That's why I think it's retarded. As well as it's a duck
fake.
hunt. It's retarded. It's
It's a
fake.
duck hunt.
Fake and gay.
Dr. Mario's in this leak too, which I mean, I would love to see Dr. Mario.
Just put a doctor skin on Mario.
Yeah, in all
That's all you
honesty,
do.
just do that too. But Bowser Jr. was included in this. Now,
But that would be pretty cool.
I would have.
But again, I can't think of a unique move set for him that's not just Bowser.
Yeah, but the thing is too, they showed this character their select screen, and there was a few things that were off. Like some of the images were new, some of the images like were not replicated anywhere else on the internet. Like nobody could find like some of these images. So some people were like, oh, it could be real. But then it's just like Game & Watch looks a little bit more distorted, and you know he's touching Wario, and why is Yoshi in the middle of the Mario crew? Like everything was,
As well as Ganondorf is so dark that I couldn't even tell it was
Yeah.
Ganondorf for a few minutes.
Mhm.
All the Fire Emblem characters are on the left and Lucina's on the right. Like, why would you not just put them all together?
yeah.
There was some other things.
But
about
here's
it.
the other thing too. Some of the claims talked about how they which kind of gave a red flag, even though some things like it just like can't be like some things can be like like debunked and some things can't. But the one thing that caught me the most was the fact that someone said this came from the ESRB rating system, but that couldn't be true because the ESRB doesn't receive games. They only receive videos or some sort of video file or something
Right.
from the actual game creators. So whoever company, has it, whether it be, Nintendo or any company that makes it, they're sending a video of like some of the worst or some of the best highlights from the game. Like whatever highlight is deemed violent and they have to rate, okay, this happens in this game. I probably have to rate it as like teen or rated or whatever.
The
But
thing that caught me off that immediately made me deem this fake was that in the demo that we played, the character select screen, the characters had names underneath them. Mm-hmm. In this leak, it was just pictures. There were no names.
yeah, but that's the thing too. I mean, who's to know it? Who's to say that hasn't been updated? Because remember that.
I don't think they would scrap something like that.
But for the 3DS version.
I don't think
only?
I don't think they would.
I don't know, because I mean, like, you could definitely keep it for the Wii U, but maybe to save space.
No.
Now, apparently too, Shulk is in here, which some people noticed that he kind of has the same.
He looks like Little Mac.
Yeah, it's like an altered little Mac, which I mean could be it. But the Mii Fighters characters customization, like a menu looks kind of legit though. That's the thing. Like there's so many things that's on and off, like the lines being off, but people are saying like there's like lines from like the bottom screen that shows like CPU, like your character selection, and one line was thicker than the other. But people have noticed that this is true within the demo itself too, from the E3 version.
Also, the Mii Fighters aren't on this character select screen.
Yeah, that's the other thing that also threw me off too, because I was looking for them. Somebody said, "Oh, what about the Mii characters?" And I was like, I looked through it 8 times, and I'm like, "Yeah, where are the Mii characters?"
The Mii characters are not on the select screen, which is another fake.
Unless they didn't unlock them, but then you have to, and then of course too, you have to consider that the Mii characters aren't going to be available in all aspects of the game. Like if someone's playing online, you can't select it unless you're playing it as a friend. You know, it's so many factors in and out. Like of it could be and then it can't be. But here's the last thing too. Now, someone did this on 4chan and they put last thing for me. DLC. This is your whole characters and DLC. It's going to be Lucas, Wolf, Chorusmen, Ice Climbers, and Snake. That's DLC.
Which is basically just a bunch of Brawl characters and the Chorus Men. That's a lazy... Again, I don't...
Melee too.
Well, it's a bunch of Brawl characters. Characters that didn't make the switch from... That didn't make the transfer from Brawl to this game. But I think it's also just a bunch of crap. And also another thing that I noticed, which was pointed out as well in a video we watched, was that in the demo... Fox's background is green, but in this thing it's blue, and Greninja's background is in the demo was blue, and it's green in this. Yeah. So it's just like there's some inconsistencies with this.
But see, here's the thing too with the Fox. It's also the same color background from the box art that's real that's in this game now too, and that's the thing. And somebody noticed the character select screen where you saw a background of the Tomodachi Life where there was a color of the stage that wasn't shown in one of the rooms, because the rooms can change because whoever lives in your island or whatever. And it was shown that it's funny because it was shown that someone saw it and said, okay, whatever, like that wasn't the same thing we saw in the demo. But the Famitsu scans, which came out hours after that, like showed that same exact stage with the same exact color, and people were like, well, either he had really early access to that Famitsu scan or the Famitsu magazine, or this could be real. So it's such a 50-50 thing.
Nessa's shirt is wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Ness. Yes.
Nessa's shirt is wrong. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Ness fan. I'm a huge Ness player. Nessa's shirt is wrong. All right. If you're gonna do it right, please. God.
Yes. Now,
fake.
Yeah, that was the thing too. Somebody had noticed and really broken the detail how a Ness who has always been consistently correct from the game with the amount of stripes that are on his shirt, from his sleeves to his shirt, how many stripes there are, and how it's curved, like in such a way, and it's been like that in every game. So now it's even, and the stripe count isn't right.
His shirt is wrong.
It's like it's all sorts of things that are just insane. And yes, we're still talking about it, and it's funny to say that, but but obviously, I mean, the one Japanese person actually made me laugh because he said, "Oh, this obviously is not from a foreigner because like Mewtwo and K. Rool are in it." So,
and then Ricky and I joked later, like, "Oh, Ridley's not in it either."
Yeah. But of course, there's a joke of Ridley is actually DLC because 2 gigs is the game, and then another gig
is for Ridley.
Yes, of course.
I find this leak so hard to believe.
It is. It's so strange because it's like, okay, let's wait like a few weeks for this game to come out in Japan. But here's another thing too. Someone come up with a theory, and I wish I remembered the name. I'm sorry for the person on the internet that said that. I believe either it came from the Reddit or maybe it came from 4chan. It came somewhere. And I'm sorry to confuse it too because I know those sites don't like each other. But somebody had said that it's possible that Nintendo might not release all the characters right now in Japan, but once it's released everywhere else in the world, all the DLC characters will come out, and now everybody gets all the characters at the same time.
I still think that no.
Why not? I think that theory could work because look, like basically we're gonna get leaks from Japan no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. But as far as characters, like say if that's all the characters we get, and then we get the same characters, but then it's like, oh, DLC. Now there's Game &
Oh yeah,
Watch.
okay. DLC I think we'll get at the same time, but we're gonna get the other leaks from Japan.
But as far as characters, like that's what they're saying. Like the characters aren't going to be complete because the DLC will complete it.
Right, but if you take out DLC, like when Japan shows us what Ness looks like, and they show us what Jigglypuff looks like, and they show us what Falco looks like, and Ganondorf, like we're gonna get those leaks from Japan. But DLC, I agree. I think everyone will get DLC at the same time.
Yeah, kind of like Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8, everybody's going to get that DLC.
Yeah.
But it's not a character or anything. It's just the carts. It's the Mercedes and then the updates.
Yeah, but I don't think that Nintendo would give DLC earlier.
Characters?
No, they'll give characters, but I don't think they'll give it early to Japan as opposed to the rest of the world.
Oh, okay. So you do kind of agree with that theory that could possibly, there won't be any further leaks. Here's your complete character roster, but we won't release it until everybody has the game.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're agreeing with that.
I'm just a little confused on this because it's like, to me, complete character roster is everything that's programmed into it, and then DLC is not. It's like separate.
Yeah, like
the DLC doesn't make a roster complete.
Yeah,
like the whatever was originally intended for the game is where it ends. Like when it comes out in Japan on September 13th or whatever the date is, and that's the complete roster. And when it comes out for us on October 3rd, that's the complete roster. And then DLC is just added stuff, in my opinion. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with that, and I don't know. I feel like if it could work that way, that'd be smart. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe they won't leak everything, and maybe that's the thing, because Nintendo's not dumb. They know people are going to be streaming this game, and they know there's 2DS capture cards that can stream the game right now.
Yeah.
I mean, people are streaming Hyrule Warriors, and there's no doubt about that. But it's different with the 3DS. But there are high quality capture cards to stream the 3DS.
People stream Pokemon all the time.
Yeah.
People stream Link Between Worlds, like people
Mario Kart 7,
right? People stream these games on Twitch with their capture cards, so Nintendo knows these things exist. So they know that as soon as the day this thing comes out in Japan, it's going to hit Twitch, and I'll be watching.
Yeah, yeah, I will.
I will be watching.
Too. I will definitely be watching too. All right. Going on a few tidbits here. Ed Boon was talking about the returning of a fatality type to Mortal Kombat X, even though he couldn't really speak on it. Now, he said, those familiar with the Mortal Kombat, they had a fatality, and then they had babality, then they added friendship, then brutality. There's going to be a reinstating in ality from a previous game to Mortal Kombat X, but he can't really talk about it at the moment.
The only one I could think of was Beastality.
Yeah, Beastality.
Yeah, that's the only one I could think of.
No.
Or maybe Harakiri.
There was a Harakiri-ality? What the?
No, Harakiri in what was it? Mortal Deception is when you killed yourself. Like if you lost, you hit the buttons and you killed yourself instead of someone doing a fatality on you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really interesting too.
Which I enjoyed the Harakiris because it was like it gave the losing player something to do. Like it was like a race that could you get your fatality off before I finish my Harakiri? Like, fuck you.
Yeah, you know what?
It's like, you can't kill me, I kill myself. Like,
I actually like that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
if they do that. If they
like
bring that
Sub-Zero used to freeze himself and then like freeze himself on an angle. So when he got done freezing, he'd tip over and break. I can't remember. I can't remember any of the other ones, but I just remember they were so cool, like doing the Harakiri.
That actually sounds cool. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, so instead of being like fatality, it'd be like Harakiri, and it was like, oh, so cool. So it gave the losing player something to do.
Now they also talked about the versus, because remember the long time rumor of Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat, which would be like every fanboy's dream from like 1993 on.
That would be crazy.
But Boon basically said there currently isn't a Mortal Kombat versus in the works. There's a nostalgia side of me that would love to see a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter if we were allowed to make an M-rated game. There's a novelty to that, but the chances of that happening are pretty low, and it's a possibility, but not a probability. Now, I remember a couple of years ago, he had talked about the possibility of Street Fighter X Mortal Kombat happening, or at least him or somebody who said it, and they said, well, let's see what happens. Like Capcom wants to see how Street Fighter X Tekken works out, which obviously it didn't really work out so well.
Yeah.
So I mean,
also you have to remember too, they did have Mortal Kombat versus Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Yeah,
and
DC
that
Universe.
game was a gigantic flop.
yeah, I mean they tried. They tried to do a Marvel versus Capcom, and they failed at it.
No, Marvel vs. Capcom is amazing.
Yeah, that's what that. I mean, but I'm saying Mortal Kombat tried that. That's basically what they were doing. That was basically Marvel versus Capcom. That's what it was. Marvel superheroes, Street Fighter, whatever you want to call it. But that's what it was, and it didn't really work out that well at all.
Yeah, no, it was just bad.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy that game.
Now, talking about video games, like I don't know if you ever like this. There's a PC game that it's an RPG. And the game is called Pillars of Eternity. Now, the first screen you see is if you could pick your difficulty. Now, if once you die in this game will delete your save file, and you have to start all over again.
Wow, never. I could never play a game like that.
You would, dude. I know you. You would rage so hard.
Yo, if I'm so close to beating this game and I just die, I'm like, gotta do it over? What? Oh, hell no.
Well,
I would throw that game away.
Wouldn't that be the incentive?
No. No, that would infuriate me beyond belief.
All right, so let me get on to this.
I would never play a game like that.
Well, here's an interesting article because we talked about Riot Games and we talked about Valve and Dota 2's international and the League of Legends $2 million and how kind of puny it is compared to the $10 million. So as far as the Riot Games not being concerned with the prize pools or anything like that, I mean, you could tell them, Steve. You know a lot more about this subject.
Yeah, no, it's really just that Dota opens it up for like donations and stuff. That's why their prize pool is a little larger. So I guess the community kind of feeds it a little bit. I think they open up something for like $10 and like $2.50 out of every $10, something that goes towards the prize pool. Whereas Riot kind of said, we're not going to do that. We're not going to ask our community for this.
Yeah, but where did they get the money? Just from themselves, or?
Yeah, they open up some kind of program, and I don't know. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but some digital thing. I don't know. But I read it real quick, and I just whatever. But Riot basically was like, no, we take responsibility for this, so we're not going to ask our community to pay for their prize pool. We'll pay for it.
There you go. That's not too bad though. It's very just different.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it for our Two Broke Gamers podcast. We don't have a part 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're not going to have a part 2. We were both too busy to really do some research and stuff. So we don't have a part 2, but
it's going to return next week.
We'll return next week.
Yeah, we definitely have a few subjects, especially for next week.
Yeah, there's a few things we skipped on this week, but I promise you next week's show will be just as amazing.
Oh, yeah. Now, of course, you can follow us on Twitter, the number 2 Broke Gamers Pod.
Yes, and you can follow us individually. I am Steve B. Agilism, AGILISM.
And I am at Terrick, the T-E-H, that's misspelled.
Yeah,
T-E-H underscore Rick.
T-E-H.
Yeah, T-E-H, Terrick.
Terrick.
And follow us on YouTube, of course. Keep an eye on the blog because that'll be updated at some point in life.
The blog, the WordPress thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's going to be updated at some point in life. And thank you guys for listening. And we hope to have you join us for next week.
Yeah, definitely.
See ya.
Yeah.